Oh my goodness. The Steelers, with their first round pick at 20th overall, stay pat. They don't move, they don't nothing. And they get Kenny Pickett, the guy that was working for 5 years across the hallway at the University of Pittsburgh as their quarterback position. They addressed QB in the first round. We all thought Malik Willis, Malik Willis, Malik Willis. But no, it's Kenny Pickett, the man who now holds the all-time record for touchdown passes in a single season by an ACC quarterback, surpassing Deshaun Watson, who he will now face with the Cleveland Browns. And now this redefines the quarterback position moving forward for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Steelers fans, this is a big moment for your franchise because Kenny Pickett is a guy that a lot of people look at as a true leader. I covered Kenny Pickett at the University of Pittsburgh with their football team, the Panthers. I saw him firsthand. He is a true leader. I've been skeptical about his NFL value because I didn't like his arm strength on his deep ball, getting the ball down the field when it came to 40, 50-yard passes and trying to put the ball with more zip on it. But I loved his tenacity and his leadership. I'll tell you a story that I know straight because I talked to all the Pitt players about it. Early in the Pitt season, they lost to a team they weren't supposed to lose to in Western Michigan, and the team was disappointed. It was Kenny Pickett who called a players-only team meeting, and he said, "We will not lose another game like this season because we have to go and win the ACC championship." For the rest of the year, the Pitt's players, every single week, when I talked to them about how they were preparing for this week, they would say, "Well, we're not letting what happened to us in Western Michigan happen to us again." And lo and behold, it got the Panthers their first 11-win season since 1981 and their first ever ACC championship. And Kenny Pickett led the way for all of it. He's a huge leader. He's big on team culture. He's a guy that everyone loves in the locker room, and you love that. He's also extremely accurate, arguably the most accurate quarterback of this class. Also, arguably, I'd say that he might have the best quarterback vision of this class when it comes to reading the field, deciphering defenses, taking the smart throws. Kenny Pickett has been that guy. Now, are there drawbacks about him? Of course. Forget the small hands. That's not something that I've ever been big about. But the lack of arm strength at times when he's targeting down the field, a lot of his deep balls, and he had some of the best deep balls of college football last year, throwing it deep to Jordan Addison and Jared Wayne and Taysir Mack. But a lot of them were in single one-on-one coverage where the receiver had gotten college open and had a lot more space. In the NFL, those passing windows are going to be tighter. If Kenny Pickett can hit those passes, it's going to be huge. But this is apparent. The Steelers, it seems almost like a story because they're making up for back in 1983 when they had the 21st overall pick and they passed over Dan Marino for Gabe Rivera. Marino would be later picked at the 28th overall pick, later in the first round that year and become one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time for the Miami Dolphins. So now you have Kenny Pickett, the guy who shattered all of Dan Marino's records, coming to the Pittsburgh Steelers to be the franchise quarterback foreseeably for the next while. And I would say if it was Malik Willis, he'd probably be sitting a year behind Mitch Trubisky. But the fact that it's Kenny Pickett, this to me seems more like that's going to be a camp battle that we're going to watch all summer long at St. Vincent College in Latrobe, Pennsylvania, when it's going down. But the Steelers, they didn't get aggressive. They stayed put. They didn't make any trades. They went and got Kenny Pickett, a huge move and maybe a historic move, getting the guy that played for the University of Pittsburgh, maybe the biggest Pitt Panther in a long time since Aaron Donald and Larry Fitzgerald and those guys. So big move from the Pittsburgh Steelers. We will have more on this pick as the night goes on. We will also be going to look at who's left for the second round. Huge move all around. Let me know your thoughts and your comments in the comments section. If you're watching this on YouTube, if you're listening to this on Apple, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Audio, Odyssey, or any of our audio platforms, hit me up at Carter Critiques on Twitter, and I'll get back to you with my thoughts. We got a lot to talk about tonight. It's not over, and the NFL draft is just getting started. I'm Chris Carter, host of the Locked On Steelers podcast. We'll be back with more very soon.